What's up, everybody? Welcome back. If you're joining for the first time, I am talking about a book that I am reading. It's called The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. This channel in general is going to be a very positive channel, motivational stuff. I'm going to be posting, as I just stated, I'm going to be reading books, self-help, motivational books, which I need to get back into doing. And I'm going to be talking about what it is that I'm reading chapter by chapter. And my hope is that you get something out of these videos to just help you get through your day. If you have goals and dreams, if you have a business, a fitness, health and wellness goal, spiritual goal, any goal that you may have in your life. Of course, everybody is different. Everyone's goals are different. I hope that these videos help you achieve those goals, and you can put some stuff into practice that will help you get there, because we're all human beings. None of us are perfect. We have some parts of our life where we're happy, and then there's others where we're trying to do some work and trying to figure it out. And maybe there's people out there that do videos like I'm doing that can, take that piece of that puzzle and kind of give it to you and give you some tips and motivation and help in getting you where you want to be in your goals. And I don't just say 2025 or the new year. I mean like your goals for life, right? For the rest of your life, things that you want to do that are going to benefit you and make you a better person going forward in your life. So the book, The Power of One More, essentially talks about one more concepts, right? So we talked about one more try, one more principles of time management, one more, and the principles of time management. And in this chapter, we are talking about one more emotion, right? One more emotion. This is chapter 5. And this isn't going to be a super long video. The chapter was very insightful, but it was, I don't want to say a lot of the same stuff, but he said a lot of things in different ways, and I'll just do my best to unpackage it based on what I got from it. And he starts off with just talking about positive emotion versus negative emotions, right? There's the super positive people that are happy and lovey and dovey all the time. Nothing phases them. And then, of course, there's the opposite of that, where you run into people that are just super negative, and everything is the end of the world scenario for them, and it's just it's sometimes it can be a little bit much for that end of the spectrum. And even the super happy, joyful people can be a little bit much for some people. But he kind of starts with that, and then he goes on to talk about the importance of, number one, understanding the emotion you're getting from whatever the situation is at the time, right? He says not everything that happens in life is going to trigger a happy emotion. Not everything is going to trigger a negative emotion, but it's the understanding of, this thing is happening right now. What am I feeling, right? Understanding what you're feeling, because that's important, right? And what is your headspace? What are your thoughts about what's going on right now, whether it's in business, in health and wellness, mentally, spirituality, in your home, in your relationships, with your friends, like whatever is happening in that moment. It's the understanding the emotion that you're feeling, because once you can understand it and kind of know what's going on and how you feel, you can address it properly. If you don't filter it, if you don't take it in, if you don't understand it, then sometimes you can be kind of jump the gun a little bit and be either really nasty or just not give the right response, right, to whatever is happening. So controlling your emotions or understanding them was the first thing. And then he talked about, which I read and I was like, interesting. Negative emotions are not always bad, right? Because what you don't want to do is feel negative emotions and kind of ignore them, right? You don't want to be like, oh, this is a negative thought, or I'm sad, or something's happening that's making me feel a certain way, and ignoring it and not addressing it, right? So we don't want to be negative people, but we want to address our negative emotions when we feel them, And the same for our positive emotions and addressing those when we feel them. But he said negative emotions are not bad. It's when you allow them to overtake your psyche and your life. Like I talked about earlier with the super negative people, right? You don't want the negative emotions to overtake you and either make you feel really negative and you go to a really, really bad place, or you ignore them, you let them fester, and then you don't address them, right? So controlling your emotions, understanding your emotions, and really using your emotions for good, right? Because again, not every day is going to be cookie cutter. We're not going to be in a positive mind frame every single day. It doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. And that's why I talked about earlier with the super positive people all the time and then the super negative people all the time, because life isn't always terrible every single day. And if you feel that way, you need to check your emotions. And I know from experience, I'm sure you do as well, life isn't always peachy keen every single day. Things are going to happen. But if you see people that are like that, it's because they're probably not addressing the negative stuff in their life. And you see the ones that are super negative, they're not dealing with their emotions the way they should be. So we really need to understand our emotions, control our emotions, and don't let them overtake us. Especially in business, if you lose a sale, or if somebody doesn't make a payment on something, or something happens, like allowing that to be like, damn it, that person didn't call me back. And like the rest of the day is ruined. Make the next phone call, right? If someone doesn't make a payment, you address it, you deal with it, and you go on to the next one. If you get up and you don't feel well, you don't do a workout, it's not the end of the world. If you eat a bad meal and you're trying to be healthy and you're out and you're busy and life happens and you're like, this is the only thing I have to eat, right? Don't let that ruin your goal, your fitness goal, right? It's not the end of the world, right? You just have to get back on the horse and get back to what you were doing, deal with it, say, hey, it happened. I talked about in the last video, your past, you can't change it. Let it go. Let your past go. Deal with it, but let it go. That's the same with your emotions. Like if something happens, you're emotional about it. Like, damn it, I shouldn't have done that, or I should have done this. Right? Great. Deal with it. You've addressed it. Don't let it control you, and move on. So, again, great chapter. I knew this video was not going to be as long because he rephrase things, paraphrase a lot of stuff in this chapter. It's a great chapter because emotions are important. It's important for us to understand them, and I'd love to see what you think about it when you read it. Hopefully, if you read it, it's a great book. So if you're watching this and we're kind of going through it, you can audiobook it. You can get it in the Barnes and Nobles, a store. You can order it on Amazon, I'm sure, or anywhere on the internet, really. But it is a great book. And that's chapter 5, and that is one more emotion. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Look forward to talking to you guys on the next one. Y'all have a great rest of your day. And again, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Take care.